Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender's Wild Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. So we're going to take a look. We're starting to get some cracks in the market. And, I still can't leave out the elusive, 7,000. Do we go get that? It looked like we're about to break down on this daily time frame, but we're getting a stick save. So let's see where this closes. If you go to lower time frames, which we will, the 65, it looked like we were breaking down from here. But if you go to SPY, we're actually holding on to the wedge that we have drawn. So I don't think it's quite done yet. I think we at least go for a bounce. Does SPY or SPX? I don't think SPY is going to hit 700, but SPX hit 7,000. Make one more high. We're going to show you how that might happen. And on the Qs, it doesn't necessarily have to make a new high. It satisfied all of the check marks, but it still could close the gap. So we'll have to see with earnings coming through what starts to really help the market rotate into maybe new highs. Okay, so we're doing this intraday about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube supporter. It comes with the Discord, cheddar alerts, and these wonderful trade alerts, kind of nailing some of these trades lately. And Netflix is the one that's been really elusive there. But yeah, come join us in there. And then there's other videos that I do as well if you're interested in those, the more premium $5 a month package. So just to support the channel. So here we go. We're looking at SPX right now. That's the channel there. Or the wedge. Let's see if we can get back on top of it. And you have your trend. We're holding on to that trend. Maybe the same thing happens here. We'll see. Here's your moving averages. We got underneath the 8. So that's a problem. Do we pinch and head lower or above? We're going to have to let price tell us what is happening, but I'm still seeing it still could get our way up there to 7,000, but we're not going all in bullish on this move here. Okay, just to be clear. All right, Brett is just a little bit improved, but we have this negative divergence, so I think this is starting to play out. I'm pretty sure we're looking for a bounce here. Either get a lower high or a higher high, but I'm pretty confident in a bounce at this point. And one of the reasons is Tesla itself, and some of the individual names, they just seem to be in that oversold condition on the 65. So here we're starting to get our sell signal after negative divergence. So yes, I do think we're looking to head lower, but just do we get a bounce first? Or do we reach even all-time highs with another divergence first? Here's our Demark, and I believe we made it the 13 count here. Yeah, we made that 13 and right on that high there and got the reversal off of it. So do we start a count to the downside? 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 9 for an exhaustion? Maybe we just have our 1, and talking Elliott wave, 1, 2 bounce, 3, 4, 5, and etc. down. Eventually, that's what's going to occur. That's what we've been looking for. And let's go to SPY for the money flow. Close this up. All right. So make sure you stick around. We're going to check out those dark pools too. They've been working wonders with our trades. All right, so here again is your divergence page here. Let's go money flow index. We have distribution. We have all the negative divergence. And looking at the Bollinger Band, didn't quite get up top there for another setup to the downside. But we are at the midline, so that could be the point where we bounce and even possibly make one more new high. And Elliott oscillator, we talked about this. We had the wave 3 into wave 5. To me, this says we're done, but it's not definite. So you can have this could be the A wave going into C, and then we still have a 3 going into 5. That could still be the case, and it's really hard when you get these ending diagonals because these 3 waves can just be over and over again. You know, this could have been wave 1, 3 waves, and then you get, you know, 3 waves up or here. It can go on until it doesn't, basically. All right, so let's go over to VIX. Okay, so with the VIX, it was possible. I was looking to see if it went up to this 200 moving average. I guess it still could happen, and then likely that the market would be heading just a little bit lower. But it appears that if we do pull back a little bit more here in the VIX, that it was just held by the 100 and the 50, and that's fine too. Then maybe we pull back to that 8 and the 20, and that would get us either that lower high or just above, peaking at the higher high. So looking for a pullback pretty soon here on the VIX. Let's just check out NDX, see if we have anything here. This is kind of where we left off here. So clearly it looks like we're breaking down. It's at the 50 right now, and the 20 is just above. Yes, that's a you know, breakdown from this particular trend line. But, well, first of all, we could have a stick save today, but we want to just keep track of this because we still haven't broken this low. And so technically we still could have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to fill the gap. And so I'll show that again on the lower time frame. Let's go to IBIT. So we shorted Bitcoin today, also strategy. I didn't do that in the room, but I made a video about it for those premium members. And I adjusted the bear flag a little bit. I put these 2 lows together here. At first I had it as these lows right here in a fake break. But then when I lined these up, it was a perfect lineup of where the top could be. So in my opinion, this looks a little bit better, the aesthetics. And so I think we could reverse right from this point here. And going to, leave those on, going to MJ. And still just trying to bottom out here, kind of a saucer bottom, holding onto the moving averages. And on the higher time frames, having a little bit of trouble with the weekly 8, 20, and 100. But on the monthly, we're pinching. So we're on the monthly, we're holding on. I'm looking at my other screen. We're holding on to the 8 and the 20 moving average. So it's no wonder that it's going sideways here for a while. But I do think that's going to resolve itself to the upside. And going to SPY. I know I'm moving pretty quick. I apologize for not making a video yesterday. Now here's our look here. So we did have this, let's go down to 65. So here's how we drew our wedge up here from wave 1 going into wave 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so if this is the case where this is 1 and 2 here, so 2 would line up with 4 and 1 would line up with 3, and that would give us our potential top. And this clearly could be it. And so you know, how we're going to play this is we're going to play this bounce. It does appear that this is done. Now it could go a little further. To me, without getting too dramatic here, you know, going down to the 5 minute and the 1 minute, it looks like you have a 1, 2, or excuse me, A, B, and then a 5 wave move down for a C. So this does to me appear like it's a 3 wave move. So this leaves us open for a little bit higher prices. But either way, we're just looking at being in oversold conditions here. And so it just gives me the guess that we're in for a bounce. And so at minimum, I think we at least go back up here to 50, 60%. And even the 786 would be appropriate. So we'll let this ride to the upside. We took off a lot of our more near-term puts, and we'll just add them back on with plenty of time on them because it won't matter to me. I don't think it's just going to take off rushing to the upside. But even if it makes an incremental high, that's fine as long as we have enough time for our trades to play out. So this weekly time frame, I'm already trying to anticipate if we do get up to these prices or even a little bit higher, then we'll have some sort of hangman type doji for next week to play out to the downside. All right. And so we had our peak up here. Now I'm going to move this and think that we're going to either move with a lower high here or a higher high. And it really doesn't matter to me at this point. Primary, secondary, I don't care. We'll be shorting going into this bounce here. All right. So momentum's still lower in bearish conditions, and that's starting to happen on the daily time frame. But our cycle with the slow stochastic is already oversold, and RSI is already oversold. We just want to take some of these conditions off with the bounce. And Lulu, I've been kind of tracking that because I want to set that up for a long play. So I'll look at that in just a second on my own time. The Demark. All right, so we got a 9 count exhaustion, sell exhaustion. So here we go with the bounce. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing, these Demarks, especially in this hourly time frame, the 65-minute. Money flow, so we've gotten lower here, but you see it doesn't really have to hit the lows when you're in an uptrend. See if this kind of goes up a little bit and continues distribution to the downside. Bollinger Band, we hit the bottom of the band in oversold conditions, so that tells us that it's time to, in the very near term, buy. Elliott Oscillator, it played out nicely. Let's see what happens next. If we do make a slight new high, then we should see a lower high in here. Okay. All right. And we'll finish off with the VIX here. Well, no, I'll go back to the wave count. Sorry. Whoa. That's a close-up. All right. So we do have this structure here, and then we pulled back, and it does appear, again, like if the VIX makes a new high, because it kind of looks like a little consolidation here, and it looks like the structure is incomplete, right? So this would kind of be the same as we're looking at the market as ABC. So if this does make a new high, maybe we can get that sort of fifth wave in from SPY, and it'd be more of a impulse wave. So we'll see. Maybe we gap down tomorrow or something like that. But according to the charts, I think we bounce directly from here, and this should break down to start to maybe close the gap or test a little lower, and then we have more higher highs and higher lows at this near term. Okay, so let's complete this Elliott wave look here. All right, so here's the dark pools too. This what's in purple, and now you can see the dates that they're actually that they printed, and this was the fantastic thing that happened last night after the close. After the close, we had these dark pool prints really start to add up here, and then lo and behold, we had the gap down. So it's fantastic, and that's where we shorted. And again, we'll look for, we're at this print right here at 687, so that's going to be important. And then we have more prints that we'll keep track of as we go. It might get a little busy, but it really, like, we came up and back tested this 691 and fell down from here, back tested this level. These levels are fantastic, and I can't explain how much I'm starting to lean on these dark pools here. So here's our wave count that again, that what we've been looking at, and wave 5 is possibly complete here. All right, and if that's not the case, then clearly this was all an ABC for wave 3. I don't think that's the case, because you have a 5-wave move just right here alone. So you have a zigzag right there. I'm starting to lean just by looking at the structure that each zigzag is already done, and that this is going to pull back and likely back test one of these dark pools up here and fail from that point. So we shall see. We'll put this here, and we'll go ahead and start our count. I'm going to use the blue, and then we're going to ultimately have a 1 somewhere down here. So we'll start projecting and things like that. I don't know where my 2 is. And so after we start to pull back a little bit, we'll assume that we make it to the 50-60%, and then we'll start to, so let's go ahead and layer these in now while we're on here. So if wave 1 is done, all right, then you have your 50-60% right here at the dark pool area. So that would be possibly where wave 2 is. And then if that is in fact a wave 1 and we don't make a new high, then we can start to project where wave 3 comes into. Sorry about that. And that would be this 162 extension should exceed that 162. So that's where we'll be looking for price action to hit next. If the top is in, some sort of wave 4, and then wave 5 down here to complete the turquoise wave 1. All right, so that's it, you guys. Thanks for joining us here at OptionsTender. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.